Okay. Hi, David. How are you?
Hi, Douglas. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing fine, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Nice to see you.
Thanks for inviting me. Glad to be here.
So, you're an author. You've got a book set out. The first thing I wanted to ask you, though, you're a stay-home dad with two twin boys.
That is correct. That is correct. I've been a stay-home dad for 4.5, 5 years now. It was just you know it made a lot of sense at the time for our family, and we made a decision, and we never felt any um, remorse for doing that.
Well, I think that's
So
great. How old are your boys?
they just turned 7 2 weeks ago, actually.
Oh, well, that must keep you busy.
Very busy. I mean, they are just, I would say like, the whole pockets of energy, but they're more like, huge bags of energy.
Well, that's great. But I think that also works out for your writing as well, because you write at home, obviously, right?
It was the writing is it kind of became possible because I spent time at home. So um, writing is something that you can get some bursts of um, inspiration, and then you could do stuff. So you're not limited by time in any way. So you can do it pretty much whenever you have time to do it, which then worked fine with the current situation at home and with the family.
So you said before the interview, you said that you were in Germany. Is that correct?
That is correct. We live in Germany, but that's just one of the places that we lived in. We've been through many places, and so we are. I mean, I'm a Croatian actually. My wife is American, but we met in Moscow. So my boys were born here in Munich in Germany. So it's a very
Oh,
long story.
well, that's
A
great.
lot
You
of
guys are a real
yeah,
international family. Yeah.
very international. Yeah, we're true globe trotters. So yeah, I also hope that that gives me a little bit of that extra when I write my books. A little bit of an extra feel, different flavor. We want to call it that.
So I'm curious, what language do you speak at home? Is it all English?
No, actually, I mean the family language is English, but I speak Croatian to my boys, and since they started school this year, we do a lot of things in German as well because we need to help them a little bit. I mean, their German is now already fluent, so they are way ahead of us. We're struggling now. The boys will have like their own language to use to talk behind our backs.
Oh, see, they have the edge on you.
They
Yeah.
totally have the edge. Yeah.
Well, that's great. No, I know that kids, when they grow up in bilingual households, they can have two, three languages in their head, and it's just one language to them. They can switch back and forth without even thinking about it. It's
They
amazing.
switch, yeah, that is correct. I mean, they switch back and forth, and I mean, I'm pretty good with languages, so it's and I know the feeling, and but it's even easier when you get that exposure to languages at that young age. I mean, we're basically the boys are trilingual. Well, we also lived in Madrid for a while, so they learned and they managed to use Spanish to some degree. So it's their minds are amazing at this age. It's just amazing.
It is true. So you've got a book series out called Project Adventure, children's book series. There are four books in the series currently.
Currently,
Okay.
correct.
What made you decide to write this? I'm guessing your boys might have been somewhat of an inspiration for this.
Absolutely, absolutely true. I mean, that's the thing. Eh, As a stay-home dad or stay-home parent, you get a lot of time with your kids, and you see spend a lot of time with them, and you actually witness them grow up, and then but you also witness them in play, especially with twin boys or twins or any more than normal siblings. Twins have this special connection, and when they play with each other and when they talk to each other, it just brings back the memories, and it brings back that feeling of being a child even more than anything else. It's amazing. And then it brought back and the little books that you try to read with them and show them first, of course, the picture books and stuff like that, but it all brings back the memories of these early reading experiences. When I was a kid, I used to read adventure novels, European authors and stuff like that, and they're just the same as any other author in the world, basically. But the point is that you can really draw inspiration from just being around your kids. They bring back the memories and everything that you need to get inspiration for writing such a series.
So are the characters in your book series, are they based on your boys, or are they just based on the inspiration from your boys?
No, the characters in this series are based, well, roughly on myself and my best friend during my high school years. Actually, I don't know. There was this dynamic that kind of fit well with this series, so I kind of went with that. Yeah, but and the other characters also have they're based on people that I've met throughout my life, and some of the name I'm playing a little bit with the names, and I'm using the names of some other friends, and it's the liberties you can take as an author. So
Okay, so it's kind of a composite of your growing up then, yeah?
yes, you might say that. Yeah,
Okay.
that is absolutely true. Yeah,
Well, so what kind of adventures do your characters get into?
all sorts of adventures. I mean, sometimes the first book is the build up to the whole series. So the first book, they end up in this adventure, unknowingly. They're not. They just it sort of happens to them. But encouraged by the success of this adventure and the treasure hunt, they decide to create their own sort of a kids detective agency where they offer their services to uh, kids in need and anybody who needs it. So it's not a very original premise, but it does give a way for other books and other stories and adventures to unfold, and so the books or the series is episodic, so basically you can read pretty much any book at any particular order, so there's no but I would recommend to read the books in chronological order, but you could also do it in any order that you wish. So
Okay, have your kids read your books?
we have read my books to them. Yeah, because I mean we started when they were like 5 years old. So the books are intended for 8 to 12-year-olds, basically middle grade. But my boys really love them, and we get they bring like and they mention references to the books all the time. It's actually quite pleasing for me that my boys remember details from book one, which we've read to them 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So it's quite fun.
Well, that's great. And also, I suspect that they could probably be your best critics. If you write one that they don't particularly like, I'm sure they'll tell you.
Well, absolutely. I
Yeah.
do try not to have kids not liking my books. It's so far I haven't had a negative comment or critique as such, because this is something you polish. You work with the editors, and it's the final product is always far removed from the original first draft. So you improve the books, you improve the storyline, you improve the arc, whatever. I mean, I don't want to really go technical into details, but it's something you try to avoid. I mean, but yes, if there are issues with the books, I'm definitely sure that my boys would, they would not hesitate to tell me, Dad, this you need to do something about that. Let's put it that way.
Are they avid readers on their own?
And not yet, as I said, they're 7 years old. They just turned 7, so they, especially now that at school, they basically, learn they're uh, learning to read and write in German. So we still need to work a little bit on that. But yeah, so far they're avid Lego builders, but
Oh,
they
okay.
will do. I'm sure that one of the better aspects of the work that I'm doing and the writing that I'm doing is that I do hope that my boys will learn to be book lovers when they get a little bit older.
How much computer time do they spend?
Not much, not much, not much. It's occasionally you just have to because I mean that's what kids do, and this is the times that we live in. But not much. I wouldn't say much. We always prefer to uh, for them to be like outdoorsy in sports. And we do a lot of they do karate, they do basketball. I mean, they were just today they spent the whole day skiing. I mean, so they're pretty active and busy kids.
Well, that's great. I think that's good because I think sometimes you see kids, when I don't have children of my own, but I go shopping and I see parents pushing even like infants in strollers and the kid has a pad, right? And it's sort of turning into a babysitter for kids.
Yes, and that I mean, in all honesty, and every parent out there, I mean, well, not every, but most parents will agree with me that they will tell you that iPads are a blessing, if used properly. Um, Sometimes, especially with two boys like this, the only thing that will calm them down and let you do anything is if you just, let them use that for a while. I mean, there's, especially last couple of years with
With COVID.
what's been
Yeah.
going on and COVID and, and,
Yeah.
and lockdowns and it was tough. I mean, these are not easy times. So yeah, I mean, I don't have anything against technology generally per se. Um, I do think that it needs to be, reasonably uh, used. So
I agree.
control,
Yeah, I agree. I think there needs to be a balance. I think it can be great.
absolutely.
I think they need to learn how to be an expert at using them. But at some point, they're going to shut them off and do something
Yes,
else.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And this is the thing, like if you don't, I mean, for us, for my family, we were lucky enough that one of us as parents could stay home and I'm trying to provide my kids with uh, alternative uh, activities. That's why almost every day practically we have something apart from school. We have like some activity, and then that keeps them busy. They don't think about the iPad or video games or whatever when they're chasing a basketball or doing whatever else. So this is important. This is, but not everybody has the opportunity to do that. So it's always
I think it's great to be a stay-home dad. If I had gotten married a lot younger than I did and had children, because I'm a musician and songwriter by trade,
mhm.
that would have been a perfect job for me. Great. I'll stay home, take care of the kids. My wife can go to work, and I can play with the kids. I can watch them grow up,
Yeah,
and then I
yeah.
can.
There's a saying: "Be careful what you wish for."
Well, at my age now, I'm 60 years old. I think that time is over for me. But I'm just saying, if I had done
Yeah,
that, when I was 25 or 30 years old,
yeah,
that would have been a great job. I would have loved that, to stay
yeah.
home and just let someone else do the corporate job, you know?
I share the sentiment.
Yeah.
I worked in business, and I was, flying all over the place, and I was in charge of all of Eastern Europe and Russian Federation and all these markets, and I really, yeah, I was very happy when I left that world. It's just not for me. I mean, you do it because you have to do it all of your life, and then when you have the chance to get out of it, I was really happy to take that opportunity.
Well, David, we have to wrap this up. We are out of time. So, just real quick, the book is called Project Adventure Children's Book Series. There's currently 4 books in the series. Are you going to write more?
Absolutely. Book 5 is on its way. I'm writing it, now on a daily basis. So hopefully within the next few months it'll be ready to be published. And I'm not stopping there. I mean, this series is set up in a way that I can extend it, for as long as I want. I can write 50 if necessary, if I manage to find inspiration for it. But we'll see. We will see where it leads, and when it ends, it ends. I mean, but there's plenty more to come, definitely.
Okay, great. Do you have a website that you want to give out?
Absolutely. My website is www.davidconradauthor.com. So that's Conrad with a K. And you can find all the information on the books there and even more. So more information on the characters and other stuff. It's a very nice website, and you can also find links to online shops and links that you can use to buy the books. The books are currently available in digital format, so Kindle, or paperback so far. So
Great. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was nice meeting you, nice talking to you. Best of luck with your book series. I hope it does well.
thank you very much. It was great talking to you and meeting you, and wish you all the best. And yeah,